Welcome to the Real and Real Estate Podcast, your go-to show for real estate success. Whether you're an agent aiming to crush it or a buyer or seller wanting the inside scoop, we're here to deliver expert advice, insider tips, and the real talk you need. Each episode, we chat with top industry pros to give you the facts, strategies, and inspiration you need to thrive in this business. Let's dive in and make big moves together. Hi, welcome back to the Real and Real Estate, where we get the facts and dispel the myths. But today, we're going to do something different. I thought it might be fun to read some funny stories that I've experienced or other agents have experienced, just to know that there is a strange side, a funny side to real estate. It can be very serious and very definite many times, but once in a while we get to laugh or we get to roll our eyes, depending on the situation. So bear with me. I'm going to tell you a couple of stories. One of them is, I title it, "It's Not Like HGTV." A friend of mine moved to Dallas and he found an agent up there, and the agent showed them he and his wife, three houses. At the end of the third house, she goes, "Okay, I've shown you three. What do you want? Which one do you want to buy?" It's like they hadn't found the house that they loved yet, but she had shown three houses just like they do on TV, and she thought it was time for him to make a purchase. That's kind of sad and funny all at the same time, I think. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to put my glasses on and read some more things. This one was entitled Pool Party, and I'm going to read. Sometimes you just never know what you're walking into at a house showing. Literally. We sold a house last year and had not one but two people actually fall straight into the pool during showings. A real estate agent was on her phone walking and talking and didn't realize where she was at. Right into the pool she went. She walked directly into the pool, clothes, phone, everything. Not only was she in the pool, but then she had to do the rest of the day with her clients sopping wet. How uncomfortable is that? Poor girl. Okay, another one. Is there a doctor in the house? Okay. The agent and her business partner, who happened to be her mom, set out to host an open house at a cool penthouse in a major city. They had no idea they needed a medic. Quote unquote, "I was setting up the rooftop deck when I was injured by a heavy steel door. I was bleeding quite a bit when our first potential buyer arrived. Thankfully, he was a doctor, and he ran to his car to get his emergency kit. He and his friend helped me and tended to my wound in the main bathroom. As the three of us sat in silence in the shower, my mom eagerly said, 'The good news is that these three people can easily fit into a shower.'" Laugh, laugh. This led to some much needed laughter, and the property sold the next day to that very same doctor. How interesting. Okay, another incident. One realtor was in for a big surprise when the homeowner completely forgot about the scheduled showings. I was in showing a couple a home, and we went in to preview the master suite, which is now called the primary suite, but that's what they called it at the time. We did not realize there was a person sleeping in the bed until we were in the bathroom. He startled us and quickly apologized. He worked the night shift and totally forgot about the showings. I quickly diffused the situation by saying he could stay in the bed and rest while we looked at the rest of the home, or he could wait outside. He went back to bed while we previewed the home. After we got outside, my clients were appreciative of how calmly I handled the situation. Now, that actually happened to me. I was previewing, I wasn't previewing, I was showing to a couple, and we walked into the bedroom. I had knocked and everything before, rang the bell, opened the door, and there was someone asleep in the bed. Again, it was a doctor that had worked the night before, totally forgot about the showing. There we go. He was fine. Everybody laughed, fortunately. Okay, here's another one. Nudity seems to be one of the biggest problems at home showings. Who knew? One time when I was showing a house, the listing agent said to go directly there. I rang the doorbell and knocked on the door and no one answered. So I proceed to use my lockbox and walk in with my buyer. We go through the entire first floor and then proceed to the basement. As we are going to the second floor to see the bedrooms, a naked man walks by the hallway. I tell him that we are here for a showing of the house. He starts making his way down the stairs to tell us nobody told him we were coming to see the house today. Note, he was still naked as he was going down the stairs. Strange things happen. Glad I wasn't there alone. Okay, here's another one. This is about flatulence. So the agent was showing the house and something got the client's attention. I was doing an open house and my clients had warned me that their cat had a flatulence problem, and a very smelly one at that. Sure enough, every time someone came in, the cat would stand by me and let out the most horrible expulsion. Everyone was looking at me with a combination of disgust and incredulity. They totally thought it was me, and I think blaming the cat only made them more suspicious. How embarrassing. Here's another one. State the obvious. Most realtors wouldn't recommend mocking the seller's neighbors when trying to promote a listing. A real estate agent put her for sale sign up and said, quote unquote, quiet neighbors across the street. The house was across from a graveyard. I'm sure that made a few eyes roll. There's another one. I was showing a half duplex to an elderly real estate agent and his two buyers. After their tour, when the elderly agent was leaving, he accidentally put my shoes on and walked out. I said to him, hey, you have to write those into the offer. Get it? Okay, cute. One agent was having an open house at a condo and had my please remove your shoes sign in the hallway, just outside of the door to the suite. When the open house was over, I discovered a pair of men's shoes still in the hallway, right beside my sign. I double-checked the apartment to make sure no one was there and let my client know that someone had forgotten their shoes, just in case they came back to claim them. Several days later, my client was having a small leak in her dishwasher repaired. She couldn't stay for very long, so I offered to be there for the repair. The repairman was someone she knew, and when he arrived, he took his shoes off and went into the kitchen. He was swearing under his breath, so I went to find out what was wrong and could smell the booze on him. He was clearly drunk. I told my client, so she asked him about it, and he swore at her and took off, leaving his shoes behind. A lot of shoes left behind. Another interesting story, I'm not sure this is funny or not, but showing a house. It was not an inexpensive home, and walk into the primary suite, and above the bed is this huge portrait of what we think was the homeowner's wife or one of the owners. It was a female, totally naked. Now, had that been me, I think I would have removed that portrait and kept it for more private time. So that's my list of some funny things. There are many more stories out there. If you know a funny story or an interesting story, write back. Let me know. We'll put that together, another list, and have a good time. So enjoy your day. Be kind to your real estate agent and be prepared for anything. Thank you for tuning in to the Real and Real Estate Podcast. I hope today's insights have inspired and empowered you. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share the podcast with anyone who might benefit. Have questions or a topic you'd like us to explore? We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay informed, stay inspired, and keep moving towards success.